business expert. Hello, Jonathan.
Hello, Chrissy. How are you?
I'm very well. Lovely to have you back on the show.
Good to be back.
Because always learn lots when you come on.
Yeah, well, I've been away. I've been back in Australia, my native home, where I grew up for the last few weeks, and Dubai as well. So it's good to be back.
So did you get any time to rest and to have some fun, or was it work, work, work?
It was more fun than work.
Good.
I was away for just under a month, and only 2 of those days I was briefcase, suit on, and working in Sydney, Australia. Yes.
Oh, that's really good.
Well, the topic is stress tonight, so that's how I de-stress. I've got to get away with the family and spend time with the family, proper time with the family. That is my biggest stress relief, without question.
Are you able to switch off completely, though?
Never. Never. I'm getting better. I'm genuinely getting better. We're now 8th year now at Rockstar, and it's funny. When things are just going very, very well, that's when you stress less. But the funny thing is that the more time, if you're away, personally, it's not for everyone, but if I'm away for too long, then inevitably, whilst I've got a great team that run the show, if you're away for 4 weeks, something is going to happen in that 4-week period. And it always does. Every time I go back to Australia, it's a 22-hour flight, so you're not going to go for 5 days and come back, or a week. You're going to take that time out. But I personally prefer going on a number of short breaks, 5 days, 7 days, long weekends, and spread it out throughout the year, because time away, physically, geographically out of the country that I work in, and spending time with family and friends is what de-stresses me.
Yeah, okay, that's good. As long as everyone gets some of that, that's the main thing, right? Do you go on holiday?
Oh, well, I do travel a lot to India. That's where our other teams are based.
Yeah.
Well, I don't get any time to switch off at all.
But you will get there.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so.
You have to do it. You have to do it.
I need to. Last year, just before Christmas, there was a day when I just said, okay, you know what, I'm not working today, and I just flew off to Iceland.
Just like that?
Just like that.
That's spontaneous of you, that's very good.
Yeah, I did that.
How was Iceland?
Very cold.
Was it worth
The
it?
name doesn't give it away at all, does it?
So Jonathan, what do you think of Malik's story?
Oh, I mean, it's a classic case of an entrepreneur who, like myself, started not as a business owner, not as an entrepreneur, started inside a big organisation, but always had that desire and dream to do their own thing.
Yes.
And you go from one world, maybe the word comfortable comes to mind, is probably the most suitable one, to something completely the opposite. The beautiful thing about starting your business for the first time when you've come from a corporate environment is being your own boss and not having to see to anyone. And that's the great thing, and still to this day, it is still one of the best things you enjoy about it. But it's also the most daunting thing you can ever think about as well when you start, because...
It's not for everyone, is it?
It's not, without question. And, I've never stood up and said anyone can do it, because it takes a certain type of person. It never happens overnight. It never happens often in the time frame that you set out, that you think it will. And Malik is a great example of someone who, like myself, when you started first, it didn't go according to plan. There were failures. I had the same thing when I started. And there's an old saying that our old wonderful Prime Minister Winston Churchill said during World War II, which resonates with me whenever I'm going through tough times, is, when you're going through hell, keep going. And I remember that, and it is a line that I say to myself whenever I'm really under and things aren't going well and I'm very, very stressed. I keep saying that to myself. When you're going through hell, don't stop. Use that as an analogy. Keep going.
Okay. Now, can you give us some of your own personal tips, apart from sort of having holidays and stuff like that? How else can you keep stress at bay? Because like I said, it is daunting, and especially if you've just left your job. And, you had all that security like you did, and everything was fine. There was nothing wrong with where you were working or what you were doing. But leaving that sort of security, how would you manage the stress that comes with it?
Well, it depends on what your hobbies and interests are. But there are certain things that we all have in our life that absolutely take our mind off work or our business. Sometimes you're out having a dinner party, or you're out with friends and you're having so much fun laughing about silly stuff, or just stuff that friends talk about, your mind does switch off from work. For me, I love doing that, socializing. I take my mind off work when I'm socializing. I take my mind off work when I'm at the gym. I think it's important to be healthy and be active when you're in business or in life anyway. So I get to the gym usually 3 mornings in the week and then on Saturday mornings as well. So that's my time, but it's also when you're exercising and you're focusing on something else, it does take your mind off it too. Whether it's knitting, whether it's writing poetry, whether it's painting or drawing.
It's about yourself here, knitting.
No, I'm definitely right. Knitting is certainly not one for me. Yeah. But we all have things that we love that we're very passionate about. It genuinely does take our mind off it. Half the time, it doesn't cost us anything. So.
It's true.
They would be, rather than going to Australia and Dubai for a month for with a family of 4, it's a lot cheaper to do knitting. De-stresses it.
Now, can you tell us a bit more about the mentoring that you do, Jonathan? Because obviously we've heard how important it's been to Malik and some of the other guests that we've had on. Why is it such an important thing for people to consider?
Well, if we stick to the topic of stress, right? There's a saying that we use a lot at Rockstar, which is, why learn from your own mistakes when you can learn from someone else's? And all the mentors that we've got in the group, have started, built up and sold companies for an average price of 18 million quid across all sectors. So they've been through it. To achieve something like that, it hasn't just all been smooth sailing. It hasn't just been done in 5 years. These are journeys on average which are between 15 and 25 years, which means they haven't seen 1 recession. They've been through a lot more, 2, in some cases even 3. So it's never easy to achieve such success, but if you are working with someone who has been through it, they understand the trials and tribulations that you're going through as a growing business. And not only do they put their hand on your shoulder and say, yes, it's tough, but it's more about, this is how to avoid that. Because I went through that. The stress was intense. In a lot of the cases, they lost their marriages over it. Business can consume you. Success can consume you. And I think the most important thing about what we do is giving businesses of all sizes and sectors who come to us because they've got the same mutual desire, which is they want to grow and they want to grow faster, and they're absolutely committed to making it work. So leverage off the experience and the advice that's given to them. It really does help.
Definitely. Jonathan, thank you so much for coming and giving your advice. Thank you so much, Malik, and all the best with your business.
Thanks a lot.
And businesses. And other things that are going to happen.
I know.
Absolutely.
Well done. Thank you so much. All right, so guys, do stay tuned because after the break, I'll be giving my own tips with Coach Chris Brown.